Good morning, friends. Happy Friday. It is Friday, November 21st, 2025. I am filming with my phone this morning because our internet is out for some reason. So it's a good thing I don't have to work today. It is not raining, which is really nice. It rained earlier in the week, and the last couple days have been clear, so it's been nice to be a little bit mud free. So I'm heading to the pump house right now, turn on the water for the horses in the barn. And when I'm done with that, I'll turn you around and we'll face the other way and walk out to the barn. Okay. Water to the barn is on. I'm gonna go out and feed the horses. So the horses had another change to their schedule this week. I had been letting them be together for about 4 hours a day, but Odin has a sore foot, and even though I protected boots on him, he was running around a little too much with Braggy. So I ended up separating them all day, which has been definitely confusing for Braggy, and even Odin has been seemed a little bit bewildered about it. So I don't like to do that, but if Odin's hoof is ever going to heal, he can't be running around being harassed by his nephew. Not that they're really related, but since they're both Mustangs from Oregon, I do call them that. What else is going on this week? I don't have any finished objects in terms of knitting. I have made progress on both the sweaters that I'm working on, so I'll show you that. I've made a little bit of progress on the blanket. I probably won't show that because my intention is to show that more when there's significant progress made, and I'm not quite done with the second strip yet. And Braggy. So Braggy's in his pen. Probably see him. And I'm not sure where O is yet. The other thing I did is I restrung some fencing. So this thinner rope wire is what's up now. So there is the divider. So that's a temporary corral panel that I stretched out and then tied into the other fence with some of that ribbon. Odin's in his stall waiting to be fed, so usually he's standing out kind of by the round pen, but so he must be ready for breakfast. So I'll get to feeding and see you in the knitting segment. Welcome to the knitting portion of my podcast. I am sitting in a little bit different place this morning because the internet's out, so there's no reason for me to go upstairs and look at my computer at all, because my computer's not going to start up or anything without the internet. And I'm sitting on this end of the sofa because Harley is in the spot where I normally sit. Yes, I concede to my animals all the time. What am I wearing? This is a cardigan, cabled cardigan by Nora Gahn, I think her name is. It's a French name. She's well known for her cable designs. This was actually a repurposed yarn. I had knit a very simple cardigan by Tin Can Knits. Originally, it was my first ever garment project. So, gosh, when would have that been? 2015 or 2016 maybe. And I didn't like it because it kept falling off my shoulders, and it just seemed like no matter what I would do, it just didn't fit right. So I frogged it, and I knit this sweater. It is knit in pieces, so definitely seaming on the sleeves. I don't know if you can see. There we go. It's oversized, which my preferences now are not oversized. It was definitely knit in panels, and the whole thing seamed together. So these are the buttons. This one's kind of fallen off a little bit, but these little cute little metal buttons, and it goes, I don't know if I can stand up and show you, but it's, well, it's safe to say it's oversized. So I don't know when I'm going to have the show notes loaded, because the show notes are always on my computer, and I've already went on and on about the internet being out. So I'm doing this all via cell signal, which is not very good where we live, quite frankly. So not sure when this is all going to go up. I will put show notes in eventually, and if you are interested in any of the project pages that I am talking about. So let's get on to works in progress. In this bag that my mom made, garlic fabric, very simple drawstring bag, which is really great for this sweater. It is the So Faded by Andrea Mowry, and I am on the ribbing, which feels like it's taking forever because it's size 2 needles, and I honestly don't recall. Okay, well, this is the front. So you can see, I think I have the yarn labels. I'll talk about the yarn in a minute. It's fingering weight yarn, 3 colors. Okay, I think that's probably it. I'm using ChiaoGoo red lace needles, and they are, Stitch Stopper is a, looks like a cold iced coffee drink, and both needles fit in the one hole. Otherwise it just slides off. And my little beginning of round is a little part of an advent from last year, Polka Dot Creek, and I think this is from the same thing. So it's unfortunate that the tariffs are preventing Polka Dot Creek from shipping to the US. And I see I have a situation here, so I will need to work on that. There we go. It just stuffed that back, the innards back in where they belong. So I don't know if any of you have that problem with your cakes, that the innards come out and then tangle with the yarn you're trying to work at. So this bag is also made by my mom. So this one just holds it's serving as a yarn cozy. So farm animals, another simple drawstring bag, but this one is lined, which I like very much. I like all the bags that she makes me. So let's see if I can find the yarn labels in here. Peony is the bright pink color. Daisy, I assume, is this first color, the Trilogy yarn, and then the peach color is, Trilogy yarn is hand dyed out of Idaho, and the peach colored yarn is by Emma Yarns, or let me see, Practically Perfect Sock Yarn, hand dyed in sunny Florida, Emma's yarn. So in the colorway, oh, that's right, I remember talking about this last time. I don't see a colorway on here. It says August 25, which I assume it was the month it was dyed. So that is that. So we can call that color whatever we like. Maybe we can call it tangerine. Daisy, tangerine, and peony. So looking forward to finishing this one. I definitely have a lot more projects in the works, or in mind. It's looking over at I have a kind of a tall basket that has several projects just waiting to get started. And I'm still doing gift knitting, so hopefully I'll be finished with that after Thanksgiving, and then I can start thinking about some other projects. I am a little bit sniffly this morning, so pardon me for a moment. Okay, the one thing I didn't do while we were on break here is take a sip of tea. So I'm drinking green tea. It's my second cup of tea. I start with black tea. No, I always start with black tea and then go to green tea. So this is a bag that I crocheted. It's the float tote. It's a pattern by Nitty Natty or Love and Stitches. I never remember what her designer name is. So I split for sleeves. So if you follow me on Instagram, and I will try to put my Instagram handle somewhere in here so that you can see it if you so desire. So I did try this on yesterday. So the yoke is finished and I split for sleeves, and now I'm just on stockinette and using ChiaoGoo red lace with more stitch needle stoppers from that same Advent by Polka Dot Creek. So very Christmassy. So, you know, once Halloween is done, I'm kind of ready for Christmas. I admit I was a little bit shocked to see Christmas stuff in Costco and other retail stores already. But I don't know. I guess Thanksgiving season's kind of short and maybe overlooked. I'm not sure. So for the color work, I used a needle size 4, which is 3.5 millimeters. And for the body, I'm using a US size 3, which is 3.25 millimeters. So these are also Emma's yarns. The bright pink, this highlight color right here is called Love Drunk. The deep purple is called Nightshade. And then the Woolen Women, which is the featured color in the Talon Ven pattern by Caitlin Hunter, is a Woolen Women called Kentucky Derby. And, well, these two are attached. So I won't take them apart, but I know what they are. And now you do too. So, although it kind of bugs me that they're attached, so I'm going to fiddle with this for a moment. Don't mind me. There we go. Yeah, Kentucky Derby, Woolen Women fibers. So this was part of my retail therapy when I injured my shoulder the first time. I'll talk about where I'm at with that here in a minute. And I did end up signing up for more subscriptions, which I love their yarn. Do I need yarn? No. Do I want to knit down my stash? Yes. And be a lot more intentional about the yarn I purchase. I mean, I have so many knitted garments and I work from home, so I wear them around the house, which is fine, but you know, things like shawls and scarves, I'm not really wearing, although I'm going to make a shawl with for Advent, following Kay Jones' Advent program on the Bakery Bears, and I have the yarn all picked out and wound up for that. So, but I do wear a shawl every morning, at least in the fall, for 3 seasons while I'm knitting. So, sorry, I was trying to block that glare behind me with my head, so I'll sit up again. Shoulder news, and this ties into horse news. Last week, my trainer did not come on Friday because it just poured down rain all day, and it's miserable, and it's miserable for everyone. So we decided to skip, and today looks more promising, so she's coming today. Which brings me to fencing. So I was able to pound in with the heavy fence pounder on the T-posts, the metal T-posts. I was able to pound in a fence post yesterday. That was part of my fencing project, so it gives me a lot more confidence about my shoulder. I'm starting to feel like my arms are a lot more useful. I'm starting to do some yoga. I can't do like down dog or any of those types of positions, so I'm practicing with, I think it's called puppy pose and child's pose, where I'm really getting that stretch, but not the type of tension that you put on your shoulders. I am able to do push-ups from like wall push-ups, I think they're called. I do them in a windowsill that's, I don't know, it's probably about hip height. So I am starting to get more of an angle and building that strength. So really excited about that. It's just doing yoga has been actually good for me mentally as well as physically. What else did I want to talk about? I had other things in mind regarding horses. I think I've talked about the horses enough for the most part. I mean, Odin and I have been going for a drive, so I load him up in the trailer and we go for a short drive. I did it a couple weeks ago and he came out pretty sweaty and like he was anxious about it. And then last time I did it, maybe last Saturday, he wasn't as bad. So we did exactly the same route. So it's just like everything else, it's a matter of practice. And the other thing I like doing that is it keeps my truck warmed up and battery charged and all that kind of stuff, and just keeps me mentally prepared for trailering. I said I wasn't going to talk anymore about horses, but here I am. I took a Stacy Westfall class, and I may attach a video. So it was a homework video that I did, although it is on my computer because I use my GoPro. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. Maybe not this episode. There's one more class left tomorrow. It's at 7 a.m. Oh my goodness. I mean, she's in the Eastern time zone, so it makes sense for her to start at 10, but it's 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Not like I was just looking at the modem to see if anything had happened, but no, still without internet. What else is going on? I'm going to the dentist today, but before that, I am going to meet a friend who I haven't seen in a while. Although I did see her, I talked about this last time. I talked about the Life of Pi. We went to the Life of Pi, which was, I have a lot more accurate information about it now. It was a film of a live performance performed by the National London Theatre. And it was a very disturbing play, but it was very good. I mean, at the end, and it was very long. It was like 2.5 hours. And at the end, we kind of looked at each other. It's like, are you glad you saw that? Well, I don't know. I mean, the story was hard. It was, I loved the way that it ended because I think it challenges us to make things beautiful even when things are really hard. So that part I really appreciated. And it talked about belief and faith, and not necessarily in a religious way, although religion was addressed. Christianity, Judaism, and Islam were all just like briefly touched on. And it was the message I got from that is like, you can believe in all three and it's fine. You don't have to choose one over the other. So all that to say, because the movie got out late in the afternoon, my friend and I decided that we would meet for coffee this morning and just really catch up, because it had been quite a few months since we actually have seen each other. So looking forward to that dentist appointment, and then my trainer's coming, and then hopefully this afternoon I can do some more gift knitting and maybe load up some show notes. So I'll have to see how long this takes to upload and save on my phone with a cell signal, but we'll do it the old-fashioned way. All right, take care everyone, and have a great week and weekend too.